Well, it tells me we're live, so I'm guessing we are.
That's a trap by the man.
Oh, the man's out to get us. Is it because I'm a monkey?
No, it's because you're conservative, so we're gonna
Oh,
get a bunch of bad reviews from some lefties.
so it's the man in a dress.
Yeah, it's a man in term
Ugh.
only. Man with a
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Monkey in the Morning. I'm Monk. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
hi everybody.
Jack, how the hell you doing, my friend?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
I am sore, but it was for a good cause. I gave my wife a massage last night, and
Oh,
I started it poorly because I was tucking her into bed, and she'd been on the treadmill earlier, so I'll rub her thighs for her. And I did it just standing up, bent over.
oh,
And
that's terrible plan.
yeah, my back said, "Hey, we didn't even do this when you were healthy, dumbass."
Yeah,
So I finally sat down and did the rest of it, normal, like a human. But damage was already done. It was already
so
done.
look normal like a human. So you lathered yourself in oil and just pressed your body against hers.
That's not how normal humans do it, bro.
It is in my video collection. They're all Asian though, so I don't know. It might be a cultural issue.
Could be indeed. No, yeah, it was nice for her because she I'm just gonna teach you guys a trick. Rub your ladies, they like it. It's how I got Lady Monkey. Um, and I haven't been able to do it very much, Jack, since all of this injury and stuff, because I just don't have the
Mhm.
strength in my hands.
Yeah.
And so when I can do it, when I'm feeling okay, then I try to. And she did enjoy it. I just, paying for it now. Tyrai, thank you so much. Do these people know any other history than what was in the schools? What do illegals have to do with Anne Frank? I'm tired of these people that don't care till it happens to them. Night, listen in the morning. Have a good night, and thank you for that.
Yeah, have a good night. And no, they don't know any history.
No.
Not real history. They know their
Well,
commie bullshit.
dude, they don't even know the history that they tried talking about. Hi, Nuts. How
No.
you doing, sweetie?
Hi, Stargazer.
Um, in that case, we'll get to this in more detail in a little bit, but Anne Frank wasn't worried that Hitler was going to deport her for being in Germany illegally.
Well, he kind of deported her to the afterlife. Does that count?
No, because
Oh.
that's what they get so wrong about this.
Oh.
Hey, Hitler wasn't just like, Anne Frank, go back to your country of origin.
Well, you got to remember, a lot of these people are anti-Semites, and they don't
Yeah.
understand linear time. So they probably thought they could deport her to Israel, which didn't exist yet. And they probably think that you should be able to deport Jewish people because they're a bunch of anti-Semites.
Thank you, tall person. Hoy, can't stay long. Have my job tomorrow. You got one of them jobs. Tomorrow morning. Happy World Tapir Day. I think it's how you say that. They are weird animals. I'm not sure I know what animal that is. But, Jack, before we get into all of that, we've got to talk about our friend Jeremy.
Oh, tapirs are adorably hideous. They're like anteaters.
Are they? I'll have to look it up.
Like a capybara ate an anteater and became one.
Let's see. Oh my God. It looks like it kind of looks like a knockoff animation studio tried drawing Pumbaa.
Yes. Yes. It's the Chinese knockoff Pumbaa.
That's what it is. Yeah, indeed. Wow, those are interesting looking. Does every animal have its World Day? That's more than
Probably.
365 animals.
Yeah, there's some overlap.
One animal only gets it every 4 years.
Yeah. Can you imagine being the one that gets it on leap year?
Right?
Oh.
Hoko, thank you. Love them comparing Jews to MS-13. Now, right? Little Jewish girls to MS-13.
Yeah, innocent people that did nothing wrong versus MS-13, one of the most dangerous gangs on the planet.
Nah. You just don't understand.
Oh, they have the spark of divinity. Man, the Democrat Party really knows how to pick some fucking winners.
Before we get into the deeper stuff, we got to mock this guy because it's what I do and it's fun. So Jack shared this with me. This is after the video we watched last time. He makes this new video about his coffee, and this is what, like almost 2 weeks old now. How did we miss this for so long?
I don't know. I learned about it by accident from the Kino Casino. And I was like, I have got to find this full video. It can't be this bad. It was worse
It
than
is.
they made it out to be. And I was like, I have to show this to Monkey. Because this is so bad. It's funny, but sad at the same time. Real quick, though. Thank you, tall person. And some for you, Mr. Jack. Appreciate it. Happy National Gummy Bear Day. I like gummy bears in general. Your thoughts? I do like gummy bears, but only occasionally. So it's got to be kind of like, I got to be in the mood for them.
The name of this video is Woke Psychos Try Destroying Local Business for Being Conservative, and it backfires. Hopefully.
Hopefully. So
I love that you put hopefully in fucking parentheses. Bruh, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is a video because one person left a 1-star review on his Mother's Day coffee bundle.
One review,
which he is selling for $100. And for that $100, you get 24 ounces of coffee and some little snacks, which seems overpriced to me. In this review, he doesn't read the whole thing. It's funny how he skips over parts of it. But at the very beginning, the guy who wrote the review said, I didn't buy this. My brother bought this for our mom. And I was kind of curious because apparently they're splitting the cost of it. And he's now paying $50, which again is still way overpriced for what you're getting in this bundle. And he was like, the bundle isn't worth it. He clearly says we haven't tried any of the products yet, and he's saying I'm willing to say that they're wonderful. Still not fucking worth it. That is a shit value. Hey, would it change your mind if you knew you got one of those little K-cup adapters? Because apparently one of those is thrown in too.
He mentions that in the review.
He does. And Jeremy gets upset because the guy says it doesn't really add value. He goes, yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
You can buy those at Walmart in like a bag of 20.
Yeah, they're not that expensive. Look, I guess it technically adds some value, but not really. Especially if you don't have a K-cup machine. Then it's literally you just gave me trash.
Yeah. It's like
Dark
that little plastic piece they put in the center of the pizza.
Yes.
I used to use that as a table for my G.I. Joes.
Yes. We called them Barbie tables.
Oh, nice.
Dark Resurrect, thank you for that feminist $12. Howdy, Monk. I finally emerged from the stone age of PC gaming, upgraded my RAM to 16 to 64. Nice. Have some money because reasons. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. Thank you.
Speaking of that, thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. Howdy, Jack. Have some reasons monies too. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that very much.
My favorite part about Jeremy's overreaction to this is in the part he has highlighted right here on the screen. The reviewer says, my brother bought this.
Yes. And Jeremy will contradict that several times.
Repeatedly, he's like, does anybody think the guy who left this review bought this?
No, nobody does. It says it right there.
Even the guy who wrote it doesn't think he bought it. Fucker.
Yeah. Oh my God. This actually enraged me because he keeps bouncing back and forth on what he's trying to say. And it takes, 10 minutes to get to the point?
Basically, yeah.
And then he kind of... Are we going to watch the video?
I wasn't planning to.
Okay. Because, he kind of calls for some brigading.
He absolutely calls for some brigading.
Yeah, he breaches terms of service for Amazon sellers and YouTube in the same video. It's impressive.
There's one part that he skips over that I really wanted him to address because the reviewer says that Jeremy asks people to leave reviews, and Jeremy's like, all Amazon sellers do that, which is true. But what he leaves out is that the guy also says that Jeremy gave the exact wording you should use.
Yeah.
Which, that is not what everybody does.
No, they ask you to leave a review on products you've used or purchased. Now, Jeremy's big thing is this guy's not a verified purchaser, but this dude is not like some fly-by-night done this one-time thing. He's left other reviews, including positive ones.
Yes,
Jeremy's
but Jeremy,
trying to get this negative one taken down.
Jeremy highlights 2 reviews that this guy's left on other products that were bad. So,
yeah, but if you look at the screen when he's talking about that, you can see the guy's left positive reviews before.
Yeah, he highlights one that's a 2-star review, and right next to it, there's a 5-star. Jeremy. But don't worry, guys. This is just because he's a conservative. That this guy the guy mentions that he looks him up and finds out actually says his brother told him that he's a conservative influencer.
Yeah.
And the guy doesn't say anything about politics in this. At the very end, he says he feels like his brother got duped by an online influencer.
Yeah.
Which, if you bought Pokemon's cookies, you probably feel the same way.
Yeah, or if you spent the $100 on Cobra Tate's comic book, you might feel the same way. There's lots of influencers on both sides of the aisle, and probably some outliers that have ripped people off. I don't know.
I love this. 2 bags of coffee. They're 12-ounce bags of coffee, Jack. And the guy says he went to Jeremy's site and sees that they retail on his site for $17.99 and that's overpriced. To which Jeremy goes, "That's not true."
No, they're actually more expensive.
I looked it up because I just went to Amazon and I typed in 12-ounce coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that, the first page of stuff that you see is all like between $15 and $20. However, those are all individual brands, like Coffee Brand Coffee's up there. Black Rifle Coffee is up there. There were a couple others that I know from online influencer spaces. But if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see that Dunkin' is on there and that Tim Hortons is on there, both of which are under $10 for their 12-ounce bag.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The Tim Horton one is under $6.
Well, Jeremy should be marketing this as a premium, like local business kind of thing, and play those angles up, but he doesn't because he's lazy.
He tries to have it both ways because he excuses the ridiculous $100 price on this by saying, "Hey, we package it all ourselves." Okay, you incurring that cost doesn't actually make that worth it to the people. You getting your own bag and making sure that it's that ugly black thing so that you can, rip off Black Rifle Coffee's old stuff.
Yeah.
That's not my problem. That bag, you putting it in there yourself, none of that adds value to the cup of coffee my wife drinks in the morning. The flavor would. If you want to say, "Hey, we roast it ourselves and that is why it's so expensive because we put more time and care into it," sure. But even then, is it worth 2 to 3 times what you would pay for something else?
Yeah. Yeah. Where's the value for the dollar? Real quick though, thank you, Okie Native. I bought my mom a coffee gift pack. It came with a cheapo coffee grinder, 3 1-pound bags of different blend and roasted beans, a pack of reusable K-cups, and a 12-ounce coffee thermos. It came in a nice box. I paid $75 for it. $100 is almost a ripoff for his. Yeah, that's what this review basically is. It's overpriced for what you're getting.
Yeah, that's literally all it's saying.
Yeah, the guy is a bit verbose about it, but he goes into a lot of detail, which a lot of people that do online reviews do.
It's okay, though, because he asked Grok if this was real. That's part of his video, y'all. He asked Grok if this one fucking review.
That's where I thought I got to send this to Monkey. It's like, you asked Grok if this was a real review?
By the way, since then, he's had 2 other reviews, one of which is a verified user with their name and face attached to it. Both of them gave 1-star reviews. All of the positive ones since this video debuted mention how great the packaging is, because one of the things this person talks about is how crappy the package was.
Yeah, it looked like worn and beat up, like it had been on a shelf or something. But yeah, Amazon held the reviews because so many flooded in at once. They thought something funny was going on. And I don't know if they took this down, but he asked Amazon to take this review down.
Nope, that review is still live.
Good. Fuck him. Just because you look, everybody gets bad reviews. It's part of being on a platform where you sell things. It's just going to happen. You're not getting all 5-star reviews, assholes. It's just the way it is. I've got 1 stars on my books. I don't give a shit. You know why? Because they count the review as a review. Doesn't matter how many stars you've got, you have a review. Real quick, thank you, Evolved Potato. Even if regular coffee brands are the same price, the value of something is based on what an individual thinks it's worth.
Yep.
One person could think $10 for something is great value. Another could think it's a terrible value. Yeah, and some people won't buy the cheaper stuff because they think the cheap price means it's low value.
Well, the other way that Jeremy tries to have it both ways in this is he tells us that he only got that bad review because he's a political influencer online. Yeah, but the only reason you sold any of that coffee is because you're a political influencer online. If you didn't have your quartering channel and you were just some dude and you started up your coffee brand coffee, you wouldn't have sold a single fucking one.
It would be a much bigger uphill battle.
Especially at those prices. People be like,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm going to go buy my Dunkin' coffee for $8.
Much like the last time he was whining, this time he's slandering this guy, saying he's a leftist.
Yes.
You don't know that.
Nope. There is nothing in that review other than the fact that he mentions that Jeremy is a conservative influencer and then says nothing else about it. There's nothing in there political at all. It's all about the product.
Yeah, but he calls this guy a leftist anyway. You don't know that. You are slandering this innocent person who uses politics you know nothing about. Just like he did with the person that decided not to fulfill his one order.
Yeah. The other really great part of that video is it opens up, and for about the first minute and a half, Jeremy is telling the world, I know I'm an annoying shithead. And I'm like, hey, for once we agree. I know I'm annoying and how much I do this and how much I whine and how much I say people are coming after me. You are a feminist, dude. Literally everything that happens to you is because of who you are.
Yeah.
Except for any good stuff. That's just because he's on the right path.
It was amazing to me how desperate he comes off that this one review is going to destroy his business.
Well, he tells us that he's trying to set his family up for the future so he doesn't have to rely on YouTube. Dude, I'm going to promise you something right now. End your channel. Just do it for 2 months and come back. In that time, your coffee sales will bottom out. They will go to zero. Because nobody gives that much of a shit about your coffee.
Yeah, you want to set your family up, buy some land and give them bars of gold. There's nothing permanent in life that's going to... You're setting up your coffee empire? Really, dude? That's fucking delusional.
Yeah. Thank you, tall person. Tapir fact. Am I saying that right? Is it tapir? I don't know how you say it. Tapir fact. They are actually closely related to horses and rhinoceroses by virtue of being hooved and having an odd number of toes. Taxonomy ranking is weird.
That is weird.
That is weird. And thank you, Ace Phoenix. He probably thinks he can get away with it due to the economy in America right now being so inflated. Plus, he's an ass. LOL.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, it's a good point.
He's getting into the premium coffee space, which $17 for a premium bag. Sure, Jack, that's fine. I don't have a problem with him pricing it that way. I have a problem with him complaining that somebody said it's overpriced.
Yeah, you don't have to like the reviews, dude. You're gonna get going out and whining in a video every time somebody complains about your stuff. You're gonna be whining all the time, which Okay, never mind. I just proved my own point. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tyrai. If I'm gonna go buy premium coffee, I'll buy local. Thank you. Then I am benefiting local business. Also, have some money even if you aren't local. Oh, thank you
Wait,
very much. Well, I
but
am in your house right now.
this is why I highlighted the title of the video, because in it, local business. You don't know that person's local to you.
Yeah,
You're not a local business. You're an online business.
yeah. You sell on Amazon. How's that a local business? That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. What, are you in the only warehouse in your neighborhood? What are you talking about?
All right.
It's a lazy attempt to sell more product and whine about the one-star review you got.
Yeah, this is woe is me bullshit from Jeremy again.
Yeah. Yeah, I was laughing but enraged at the same time. It's a really weird feeling. But I was hoping you would watch that and enjoy it as much as I did.
Dude, I enjoyed the shit out of that because I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. All right, next up. Don't worry, we will get to the judge in a minute, but I wanted to talk about this story first because there's not as much to talk about, Jack. This is Mr. Reed. I forget his first name. I don't really care. He is the Republican candidate for lieutenant governor in Virginia. Because Virginia has an election this year. Their governors can only serve one term, and Youngkin has to go. So Winnie Sears is going to be the gubernatorial nominee for the Republicans. And this guy, by default, because somebody else dropped out, is the lieutenant governor candidate for them.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Dark Conservatarian. Has BRCC ever been this petty about the same? Not that I know of, but I don't pay a lot of attention to Black Rifle.
No, they were whining because somebody questioned one of the guy's service, and he went on and on about how it's an anti-Semitic comment, and they were just whining. Yeah,
that's different than, hey, this is overpriced, and throwing a big ass fit like that.
Yeah, it was kind of the same tone of crying though. It was just somewhat more understandable of a fit.
If somebody questioned my service and I actually served, I can understand being pissed off about that. I do not understand being pissed off because your $100 box of $25 material is called overpriced.
Yeah, well, Black Rifle Coffee likes to hide behind their service a lot as an excuse for shitty behavior. So I'm not a big fan of those guys. I think they're douchebags.
Yeah, you seem to have an unnatural hatred for them.
Because they come off as douchebags every time somebody criticizes them, they run and hide behind the fact they served in the military.
Fair enough.
And I think that's douchey. I don't like that. I think it's gross, and it's a disservice to the people that actually died for their country. And not everybody runs out and's like, oh my God, you're just mean to me because I was in the military. No, asshole. People cannot like you because you're an asshole. Anyway, thank you, Hyman Lyman. Think I'm gonna buy another copy of your books on the new Amazon account just so I can drop another review for you. Love you. Don't AMA about them. They are still in the backlog. 3 years. I need to read more. Well, I hope you like them, and thank you very much. I always hope people like the books, and it's not going to be for everybody, of course, but I hope you enjoy them. And if not, just give them to somebody else. No refunds. I already got your money. I don't make much money on the books, but I do enjoy writing, and I have a few books that are lined up that will eventually get done. Thank you, Okie Native. Different fun T-Peer fact. When I was in high school in 98, oh God, I feel so old. The tapir at the OKC Zoo mauled a zookeeper and she lost an arm.
Damn.
So what I'm saying is get a tapir for a guard animal.
I mean, that's kind of in line with them being related to the hippos.
Yeah, hippos are monsters, man. Yeah. They're evil.
Okay, so to Mr. Reed here, Jack, there's a controversy going on. Governor Youngkin has asked him to step down as the lieutenant governor nominee.
Why?
Well, because apparently there's pictures that have come online of him at a drag show a long time ago. And they found his old Tumblr, which he says wasn't his, But in 2011, he's a gay man, and he posted pictures of gay porn stars naked on his Tumblr.
So?
No, that's it. That's the entire controversy.
Oh, he wasn't like in the photo with the gay porn stars?
Nope.
I don't
And
fucking care then.
it was not a kids drag show. This was an adults only event.
Yeah.
But
So
apparently it's a big deal.
I've been to a drag show. They're kind of boring, but I understand why some people like the burlesque aspects of it. A lot of people have fun at those things. Just wasn't me.
I don't have a problem with drag shows. I have a problem with drag shows for kids.
Yeah, I have a problem with kids being at drag shows. That's my only issue with them. If you want to do that, that's fine. I've seen way weirder shit. I've been to the midnight showings of Rocky Horror Picture Show. You want to see a parade of freakos that shouldn't be near children, go to one of those.
Tailfin, that is the best argument I've seen so far. It says I don't want anyone who had a Tumblr account to hold public office ever. And you know what? That I would agree with. But that's not what they're mad about. They're specifically mad about the naked pictures that were posted there. I don't understand what the controversy is. And it's one of those places where I'm like, oh, fuck. Sorry, the Christians are causing problems because it's Republicans who are coming after this guy.
Yeah, I don't see the problem here. Yeah, so what? He posted some pictures of porn stars. I've done that.
Yeah.
So what?
This is like telling me a straight candidate posted pictures of a woman that he, found attractive, a porn star, and went to a strip club.
Yeah, dear Chasey Lane.
Is what he did legal? Then I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't care that he went to a drag show. That means nothing. Were there kids there? No? Fuck off. Who gives a shit? It's none of your business. Yeah, and it was what? Tumblr hasn't even been a thing for like a decade now.
Well, the Tumblr posting was in 2011. I don't think I saw a date for when he went to the drag show.
Something he did 14 years ago at least?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off.
Now, the one problem I do have is that he says that Tumblr wasn't his, that was somebody mimicking him to make him look bad. But in 2011, nobody knew who this guy was. So there was no somebody to make him look bad back. Just admit that you posted pictures of porn. So don't lie about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible he had like some arch nemesis back then, but highly unlikely.
Nobody really hears about this guy until 2014 is when he comes onto the scene politically. So the idea that 3 years earlier somebody jacked his handle to post gay porn.
Jacked his handle to gay porn.
Evolved Potato, thank you. I kind of want to go to one of those drag shows where women dress up as men. It seems interesting. I mean, I guess it would depend on which one you go to. And Circa Zero, just go to a town hall meeting sometimes. We've seen those. Circa Zero, thank you so much for going live when I can watch. I'm 25 minutes behind because I missed the notification. And I even put this one out early. So I'm like, I need to do a show. And I go to start setting it up. And then I saw that there was a new 48 hours posted to Twitter or to YouTube. And I was like, all right, I'll just set up the show while I watch it. I even sent Jack a message like, I'm not going to be in there because I'm watching 48 hours. So yeah,
I was waiting on my pizza, so it didn't bother me.
This is the longest I've given for a show to set up in a while, and they still aren't notifying people. Fuck YouTube, man.
It did notify me until 3 minutes after we went live. So I don't know if they just don't send notifications out so you go live or what. Who knows? Anyway, thank you, Circa Zero, for the generous donation. Because the same reason Monkey said. And hi, Jack. Hi, Cirque. Hope you're doing well, man.
Okay, let's get into it. For the record, I've been blocked by Brooklyn Dad for years. I don't remember what I said to the guy, but he is a thin-skinned puss. However, I am often sent things that this retard has said, and this is one of them.
Oh, speaking of that, Ethan Ralph unblocked me, and now he's missing.
Did you have something to do with it?
No, I'm way too lazy to fly to Colombia.
Fat, retarded American in Colombia. What could go wrong?
Right?
But anyway, For the people celebrating the weaponized arrest of Judge Hannah Dugan, whatever, by the Trump administration. Notice that he didn't capitalize T there in Trump. He's such a petty little bitch. Because she broke the law. Just remember that it also used to be against the law to hide folks like Anne Frank. What side of history are you on? Okay, first of all, it's never been, as far as I know, illegal to hide Jewish girls hiding from the Nazis in the U.S.
Also, I didn't know that Anne Frank was in MS-13. So, interesting historical factoid we just learned, I guess.
This is such a weird take. So, have you heard about this story? This Hannah Dugan? Let's let the liberals tell us what went on, Jack. How about that? We'll be as kind to them as we can.
Why?
Wisconsin judge arrest. What we know. Dun, dun, dun. Judge Hannah Dugan is accused of obstructing justice after directing a migrant, an illegal, out of her courtroom as federal agents waited to arrest him. Her arrest has raised several questions. All right, I'm not going to read through this whole story. Here's what happened. Several groups, a total of 6 officers, Jack, but I think DEA was there, FBI. It's probably in the story. And ICE. They went to the courthouse because they heard this guy got arrested. By the way, he's been arrested for misdemeanor battery for beating up his roommate, his roommate's girlfriend, and one of her friends. That's what he was in court for. He's never been in trouble with the law before, Jack.
Oh, he's a good boy. Didn't do nothing.
Reportedly, he beat these 3 people because one of them asked him to please turn down the music. Yeah, so he beat a whole bunch of people. So ICE gets word that this guy's going to be in the courthouse, so they're like, let's go pick his ass up because he's already been kicked out of the country once. And he's been living here, I think it said 12 years, since, because he gets kicked out, immediately comes back, and is living in this town for 12 years as a cook. You want to get rid of illegals? Apparently, all you got to do is start going to all the restaurants around.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, man, the only way this really stops is you start going after the people renting houses to them and giving them jobs.
So the defense lawyer tells the judge, hey, they're here to arrest him for immigration stuff. And she's like, that's nonsense. And she waddles her fat little ass out there to talk to them, tells them they have to go talk to the head judge. And the head judge tells him, yeah, you can wait in the hallway and arrest him when it comes out. So our fat little judge here decides, okay, we're all done with the hearing. It's time for you to leave. And she goes, wait a minute, come this way. And directs the guy out a back door of her courtroom into a non-public area where he makes it downstairs with one agent who noticed and followed with him. Then they chase him down and catch him outside. And so she has been arrested for obstructing justice and harboring an alien.
Yep, aiding and abetting.
And
shockingly, Monkey, this needs clarified because I got this wrong. She did not hide him in the rolls of her jowls.
No. Just behind her chambers.
It was the jury room, not the jowls. So there you go.
The New York Times tell us it raises questions. What question? I don't see what the question is here.
Why are you a bunch of racist meanie pants? Huh? Bigot?
She knew that they were there to arrest him, that he is in the country illegally, and she helped him escape.
Yep.
There's no question here.
No, not at all.
But they'll have you believe. Look, this is just like Anne Frank. This is just like the people who were hiding Anne Frank if they got arrested. Is it really? Is it even close to that? We're not even in the same timeline when you're talking about that shit. If it was raising questions, they would ask him, well, Faithless, this does tell us what some of those questions are. You ready for this, Jack?
Okay. No.
if they can be arrested at the courthouse, illegals might not come and give necessary testimony to crimes.
What, the ones they committed?
If they're just a witness in the case, ICE isn't going to be notified that they're there. This guy, they knew about him because he was fucking arrested. He was there for battery. It's not like he was a witness to the battery, Jack, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna get that guy who's trying to put away a criminal."
But Monkey, he's not only doing the cooking, but the beatings that Americans just won't do.
The other question that it raised is, why did they need 6 people?
Apparently, they needed 12.
They needed a lot more because the judge was helping people escape. That's a show of force that they don't need. The guy was under arrest for battery. Maybe bring enough a show of force to be like, you're not going to try some shit, right?
Are you telling me that a violent criminal might get violent?
It did cross my mind, yeah.
That is just lunacy, Monkey. You're crazy.
No.
That's gaslighting.
Here is the lunacy part of this shit. Wisconsin judge threatens courtroom boycott after Hannah Dugan's arrest. Monica Isham, noticing a pattern, says she will not allow ICE to send illegal immigrants to a concentration camp. A Wisconsin judge is threatening not to hold court in protest of federal authorities arresting her fellow judge Hannah Dugan last week. Judge Monica Isham made the announcement in an email to judges across the state on Saturday. Her email titled, "Guidance requested or I refuse to hold court," made clear that she has no intentions of working with immigration and customs enforcement. Then she should be removed from the bench. She is blatantly refusing to uphold laws, Jack.
She's refusing to do her job.
Can I just point out that Judge Hannah was not asked to cooperate with these ICE people at all. If she had done her job right, okay, you've been, this little arraignment, whatever the fuck it was, we're all done. You leave through the back of the courtroom, and then the ICE agents would have picked him up. It's not like she called them in to come arrest him at that moment. She wasn't asked to do that. She was simply asked to do your job like normal, and things would have worked. Instead, she went above and beyond and helped this guy escape. If there's no guidance for us and no support for us, I will refuse to hold court in Branch 2 in Sawyer County. I will not put myself or my staff who may feel compelled to help me or my community in harm's way. I have no intention of allowing anyone to be taken out of my courtroom by ICE. Nobody was taken out of the courtroom. Nobody was going to be taken out of the courtroom. He was going to walk out of the fucking courtroom. Now, if she'd said courthouse, that would be right. But
well, they use that term pretty interchangeably because a lot of judges think the courtroom extends to the hallways for some fucking reason.
But it does not.
Nope.
And in this case, the overseeing judge, I forget what the terminology they use for it, but whoever's the head judge at that courthouse here told these guys they could wait and do the arrest in the hallway. You have your guidance, dumbass. Anyway, where is it? I have no intention of allowing anyone to be taken out of my courtroom by ICE and sent to a concentration camp, especially without due process. Arresting them is part of due process.
They also aren't entitled to due process because they're not citizens.
That's fair. That is fair. But we have this problem in this country where we think due process means whatever the fuck we want it to mean in that situation. Due process just means that the law is being followed. That's it. We got some birthday. Miss Ann is 16. Oh, Miss Ann. This one's for you. And a 1. And a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Miss Ann. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I hope you have a good one. I really do. 17. What a great age, man. All right, where are we? Without due process, as both of the constitutions we swore to support require. Should I start raising bail money? Yes, because you belong in jail now. You're a shitbag. Yeah, and somebody said due process doesn't mean trial. It doesn't. Everybody points to due process when their pet thing is not going right. But what about due process? I saw this with the Tates when they're over in where are they at?
Florida? Romania?
No, overseas.
Romania.
Thank you. A bunch of Americans like, they're not getting due process. They're not getting American due process, but they're in Romania. And nobody was suggesting that Romania was doing things illegally for Romania. It was due process in Romania.
Yeah, you don't get American civil liberties overseas. I'm sorry, guys. I hate to break it to you.
People don't fucking understand what due process means, but they throw it around all the fucking time. Due process. The process you're due. That's what due process is.
Yeah, they're not skipping straight to the hanging, you know. Real quick, thank you, Evolved Potato. What the judges that refuse to hold court violate the rights of everyone that was supposed to come up before them by denying them their right to a speedy trial?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, they should be thrown off the bench if they're refusing to do their jobs.
And an illegal is owed nothing. Yeah, exactly. But there's nothing to suggest that what happened with this guy violated his due process at all, or what should have happened with him, him coming out and getting arrested, violated his due process at all. Even if you think he's entitled to strict Americanized due process, you haven't shown. Being arrested and detained, that is part of due process in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
No, because we said, have we talked about Anne Frank yet? Man, they're making this sound like she's been in some way violated herself. The bitch broke the law blatantly on the bench. She deserved to be arrested. She deserves to go to jail for this for a long time, Jack. Would it shock you to find out that Miss Hannah was a social justice advocate before she became a judge?
I'm so shocked. Well, I think it's going to be worse if the feds decide to really throw the book at her and hit her with aiding and abetting a terrorist. Because MS-13 is classified as a terrorist group now.
It's just insane to me. It really is. That anybody has sympathy for this woman. Anne Frank, you'd have been arrested for helping her. What side of history are you on? The side that's actually read it? The side that actually knows what happened in Nazi Germany? It's amazing to me that these people think like this guy getting sent back to his country of origin is similar to what the Nazis did.
They don't know anything about the Nazis. They're fucking stupid.
Well, no, because their understanding of the Nazis is anything Trump did is what the Nazis did.
Yeah, even though a lot of what Antifa does is very much what the Nazis would do. Run around intimidating people with different political views, banning religion, burning things,
Well, they did come from the same country that gave us Nazism, so,
that's a fair point.
Yeah, they helped the Nazis rise to power. Yeah, maybe Antifa's not the best people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jack, I'm just so tired of this shit. You're a judge, okay? I get that you have your own political beliefs and stuff, but that stuff, we count on the courts for this thing to work, Jack.
That's
and we can't have
talk.
We've had so much of this political activism from justices going way back, Roe v. Wade, and them getting away with doing shit like this. This is, somebody asked me, do we now have to go and question all of their cases? No, you don't need to do that, because this was a very specific action she took.
Mhm.
This isn't she was soft on crime because it was an illegal. But she did apparently give an interview once where she was either still an attorney in the social justice space or talking about when she was in that space. And she says, I didn't just stop with what they requested of me, the defense they were requesting. She says, if somebody got a ticket, I wouldn't stop there. I would look into their background and their food availability and whether they had a job. Like, yeah, you sound like the kind of judge that would try to sneak out an illegal.
Yeah.
But she's an elected judge, Jack. She's a state judge. She gets elected for 6-year terms. She's serving her second one now. And hopefully her next term is a prison one.
Hopefully. She deserves to lose her judicial powers for this, and probably her legal practice ability.
But you know what'll happen?
Nothing.
If the feds push it real hard, she'll end up with some kind of settlement or whatever. Maybe she'll get a little bit of time in jail, and then she'll come back and run for judgeship again, and she'll win in overwhelming numbers.
Yep.
Because she got elected in a place that would elect somebody who bragged about, he got a ticket, so I made it a federal case.
I took a stand. I was resisting Trump.
If I was a lawyer and I had a client who got like a ticket, I'd be like, pay the ticket. Why? You're giving me more money than you'd have to pay for the ticket, fucker. Thank you, Ann's 13 Frank. Ann 13 Frank. Thank you so much. Dear Diary, today I made excellent progress on my international rape, murder, control operations while hiding in the attic from Hitler's persecution of innocent widow me. Somebody should just do a whole book of that. Fuck these people, man. I really hate this.
I agree completely. And I like how, like, in her mugshot, she's crying, and everybody's like, "Oh, how could you arrest this old lady?" I don't know. Maybe don't help criminals.
Yeah.
Seems like it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, this bitch is in her 60s.
Yeah.
Pam Bondi said, they need to make an example of her, and I do agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be over and above, but the law should be applied here, and fuck her.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith that Pam Bondi's going to do fucking jack all these days, because she hasn't really... there haven't been enough prosecutions or anything compared to her TV appearances. So far, she's a lot of talk. Real quick, though, thank you, Evolved Potato. It needs to be said more and more. What these people call Nazis is just anything that opposes communism, which is literally commie propaganda, because the Nazis and the commies were very, very similar. Yes, they were. Mild social disagreements, largely.
Their argument was just over how far to go and who should be in charge of that going that far.
Yeah. Like, the primary difference that's noticeable is that the commies said, or the Nazis said, you can still have private property, but the government will tell you what you can do with it. Whereas the commies were like, no, everything belongs to the state. There's no illusion of private property. That's the key difference between them.
All right, Jack, let's check in on how things are going with the illegals, shall we?
I suppose.
So in Colorado Springs, there was a raid, Jack.
Oh, yeah?
They sent 300 officers to a unofficial nightclub, is one of those clubs that pops up that, people go to.
Yeah, an illegal
underground
rave
club. Yeah. 200 people were inside.
That's
100 of which are undocumented. Let's see.
That's a hell of a party, man.
But that's not the real issue. I mean, it is, and they're going to jail, or they're going away, and then you have several people who got arrested that are getting it for weapons charges and drugs.
Oh, let me guess. It's how this guy's beard doesn't cover that second chin.
No.
Oh,
Jonathan, give us some perspective here. 300 law enforcement officers. What brought about this kind of requirement, this kind of need to be here with that show of force?
There were 200 people inside.
yeah, duh.
Why'd you need 300 people? There were 200 people, some of which were known to be armed.
Yeah, probably with violent criminal histories too.
So this is an underground illegal nightclub, okay? And what was happening inside was significant drug trafficking, prostitution, crimes of violence. We seized a number of guns in there. We had active duty service members who were running security at the club. And
It's a duty.
Active duty service members from a local army base were doing security for an underground illegal club.
Yeah, those guys should be in jail.
Probably will be. Another report shows that the army is investigating.
Well, they better investigate, because I don't think you want the Civilian Oversight Committee looking too deeply into what's going on at your base if this sort of shit's happening.
Fort Carson, I believe. I think that's right, Zach. I think. I saw it on it. Like I said, I saw it on another thing, but I don't remember which one it was.
Did they happen to have weapons from the base too?
Not that I'm aware of. Now
That would be interesting.
Hang on. It's JB's birthday.
What?
JB, my friend, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday to you.
you.
Happy birthday
Happy
to
birthday
JB.
to JB.
Happy birthday to you.
to you.
Happy birthday. I hope you have a good one. I really, really do. That's where my brother was stationed. On the news report I saw on this. We're not watching the news report because I don't feel like getting hit by CBS tonight. They mentioned where it was, and they actually showed the little sign out front of the base.
Yeah.
But they do mention that it's not illegal for service members to have other jobs. You can have a weekend job as an active duty military. You just have to get permission for that job. And the Army said, we don't know if they had permission or not.
That means no, they didn't.
I just want to know how you go to your commanding officer and be like, is it okay if I work at this illegal club? This underground club where I won't be paying taxes?
And there's a lot of illegal immigrants there, some of which are probably on the terrorist watch list. That'd be super.
involved in some of these crimes. And in fact, we had over 100 illegal aliens inside as well. And those over 100 illegal aliens were taken into custody by ICE.
Active duty service members helping as security here. Can you elaborate on that at all?
So it's an ongoing investigation, but we had over a dozen active duty service members in the club tonight, either as patrons or working as armed security.
See, armed security. I'm wondering where those guns came from.
My guess would be they had to be personal issue.
I hope so, because if they're taking military weapons off base, that's a big no-no, isn't it?
I'm not sure. My dad was in the Navy. They didn't carry their own private sidearms. So I no idea. It is concerning. I mean, I kind of paused it right as he said it, but he mentions that those military folks, some of them were involved in illicit activity.
Yeah.
In a longer portion of this, he tells us that they've been watching this place for a while. They've sent in undercovers several times, so they got them pretty dead to rights. But hey, maybe they'll get that Wisconsin judge who will let him go.
Yeah, baby.
Help him sneak out the back.
I'm wondering if the military is going to get involved in this and hold those guys in military court.
Oh, those guys, if they did have this job outside of permission, yeah, this will go before a JAG court.
That's
Definitely.
what I thought. I mean, yeah, yeah. Was it worth going to Fort Leavenworth for? Good job, dumbasses.
It could be as minor as a demotion. That's a thing the military does a lot, and it depends on what the crime was. If they just had a job they weren't supposed to, it's probably a demotion.
I'm with Jim on this one. I think there are probably some gang members in the military that were just hanging out with their buddies.
I can't believe none of them knew bad shit was going on there. You're the bouncer at a club, basically.
Yeah, I'm not buying that they had any kind of like plausible deniability here. This is, when you're at a shady place. Come on.
Sure. No. I thought this place was on the up and up. I didn't know what a W-9 was. Or W-4. What do you fill out when you get hired? It's been so long since I've been hired.
W-2? W-4?
The W-2. No, the W-2 is what you get. The W-4 is what you fill out for your taxes. That's it.
Yeah, or 1099.
I can see them thinking that it was not knowing that everybody was illegal, because in Colorado they give licenses to illegals. So you look at it, make sure they're the right age. Okay, cool, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know, because when you're working one of these shady places. Come on.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt that these idiots. Am I thinking I-9? It's a W-4 and an I-9, right? God, it's been so long since I've been gainfully employed, Jack. It's okay. I'm a cripple, you guys. Anyway, those are the stories that I brought that I really wanted to talk about, because I'm tired of all the illegal love. I really am.
Yeah.
It's gotten so fucking ridiculous. And why is it every time they defend somebody, it's some shitbag? This judge who helps this guy get away, he didn't have a parking ticket. He beat 3 people.
Yeah. He's not the best of the world. This wasn't some like college kid that ran a red light. No, this was a violent criminal.
How much battery do you have to commit in Colorado before it's a felony?
Well, it's Colorado, so apparently quite a bit.
I mean, this guy beat his roommate and his girlfriend. By the way, this social justice judge used to advocate for battered women. It's amazing how much they don't give a shit about battered women. I mean, that Garcia guy beat his wife. Now we know at least twice.
Mm-hmm.
At least twice. At first, it was like, no, it was just once. And then she came out and told us, no, actually, it's because I had a bad boyfriend before and I was afraid he was going to beat me. But you said on here that he hit you.
Shut up. Don't notice things.
And then it comes up that it happened more than once. And they're like, he's a good guy. We need to get him back in the country. It really does go with, what's his name? Von Holland going over to El Salvador. I just couldn't help but think of the 158 Democrats who voted against kicking out rapists and women beaters.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we got to get the women beaters back. We're too weak to beat our own women.
Yeah, well, they're beating traditional women, not the nouveau vaginas. So did you see what happened in Vancouver yesterday?
1 second.
Oh,
Thank you for becoming a member for month number 11. I'm telling you that the entire left is digging for examples of why the deportation efforts are wrong, and all they can do, or all they can dig up, are shitbags. Yeah. The narrative is it's women and children who just can't make it there, and people who are political prisoners. We're saving them all. And if you actually looked at who was coming across the border, the ratio of military-age men to women and children is like 20-1.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sorry. Did I see what happened in Vancouver?
Yeah. So we had another Waukesha. A guy drove through a crowd at a Filipino festival.
I did see that, and I saw all I saw was the headline, and it said "terrorism not suspected."
Yeah, he apparently they're saying he has a history of mental illness, but as far as I know, they haven't released what region of the world his people are from, if you know what I'm saying. So then today, earlier, about 8 or 9 hours ago, there was a mass shooting in Myrtle Beach with at least one person killed and 11 injured. Now, there is an incident in Clearwater Ferry where 45 passengers were on board a ferry, and it collided with a private boat near a causeway. And
I
it's
thought the story I saw on that said it hit a sandbar.
No, this is the update says that they hit a private boat. This is 25 minutes ago. So
yeah, for the record, guys, this story is breaking. It's only within the last couple of hours, so a lot of that stuff is going to change. That's why I brought it up. So how'd they get a mass casualty event from hitting another boat? How big was the other boat? A ferry wouldn't, like some fisherman's boat, it's just going to run right the fuck over it.
Yeah, I don't know. All 45 ferry passengers have been evaluated at the scene, with 12 being transported to area hospitals, including 2 who were airlifted to local trauma centers.
I hope they're all right. I mean,
yeah.
Depending on how quickly the ferry came to a stop or how hard that hit was, you can do some serious damage slamming into something.
Oh yeah, get whiplash. I mean, I'm surprised nobody drowned, quite honestly.
Yeah.
But the important lesson here is don't go near transit. Apparently, everything involves like touristy places. Don't go to touristy places or mass transit today, because it's been a crazy weekend. Just avoid that shit. And you know what I blame it all on? Trump, because he brought back Columbus Day.
You think they would have noticed another boat? You'd be surprised how hard it is to notice other boats.
Especially in the dark, and if they don't have their lights on, like they're doing illegal fishing or something. Yeah, you'd be amazed how difficult it is. You can run into one pretty easily. But did you hear Kristi Noem got robbed?
No, but hold that thought for 1 second. It's also really hard for a ferry to turn quickly.
Yeah,
it's not like a car where you can just yank the wheel and turn suddenly.
What are they? Pontoon boats, mostly.
It depends on the kind of ferry. But basically, yeah, it's just a giant floating barge.
Yeah, they're not exactly maneuverability class A. You know,
even speedboats can't turn that quickly because of the way turning and stuff works on water.
Yeah, you have to have a wide turn arc so you don't capsize.
Yep.
So Kristi Noem got robbed the other day.
Oh,
in DC apparently.
Like mugged?
Yeah, she got mugged. They took her purse, and they got her credit cards, IDs, some keys, and like $3,000 in cash.
Does anybody know where Taylor Lorenz is?
Well, they caught one of the guys, and they just caught the other guy today. So, turns out they're illegal immigrants.
No.
So you're an illegal immigrant, and you decided to rob the head of Homeland Security?
I'm a little upset that the head of Homeland Security could be robbed.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I'm guessing from the sound of it, she was like out with friends or something. But she should have a security detail at all times.
Chrissy, treat him like your dog, man.
What, shoot him?
Yeah. They're trying to rob her. She can shoot him.
Oh, yeah. It was a Gucci bag, too. Thank you, Emo.
Thank you, Mr. Wombat. Just joining the stream, but I'm done with catering to illegals, you and me both. Complaints when Bush and Obama deported them. Since when was we'll get to that in a second. Since when was the U.S. designated as the absolute safe haven? Oh, wait, Trump bad. You have to understand that even under Bush, I mean, they were still bringing in illegals. They would pay some lip service to the nonsense, but this bullshit of us being the safe haven for the world has been going on for decades.
way too damn long.
For all of the talk of even Republicans, this is why I don't fucking like Republicans, Jack.
Because you can't
We-
trust the lazy shitbags. Yeah.
We need to secure the border, but not against those illegals. Those ones are fine.
We can't actually secure the border because it sounds like work, and we're morally opposed to that.
Because they're all in favor of it, because they get tons of donations for that, and they can jack up their congressional districts. It's fucking retarded, man.
Yeah, it's disgusting. But yeah, I was just kind of impressed that Kristi Noem, of all people, got robbed. Like, if you're gonna pick a target who's a government official, why wouldn't you go after like the transportation secretary or something?
They're illegals. They didn't know who it was. They just saw
Apparently,
a lady who was well done up, and like she must have money.
yeah, but I mean, you're in DC. You have to know that odds are she works for the government. At least be aware of all the people that can send you to scary places. Like, seriously, you're going to end up in some like Egyptian prison labeled a pedophile, and they're going to cut your nuts off.
Thank you, Ace. Just tell them they was coming right for me. That works, right? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. South Park taught me that.
That's true. Got to thin out the herd.
I think that only works in Colorado.
Oh yeah.
I'm also curious because you said they got her credit cards.
Yeah.
She's the head of Homeland Security, and she's just carrying a normal purse. She doesn't have like her important shit in a inside pocket somewhere.
I guess not. I mean, she probably had some like breath mints and shit in there too. I don't know. But probably some snacks. You know, women's purses are a potpourri of weird stuff.
Well, it's fine to have all of that in there. And if you're just a normal woman running around, you're head of Homeland Security. Have a little self-awareness. Put that shit in an inside pocket where it's safe.
Yeah, like get a money belt.
Have fake credit cards in there, like MasterCard. Remember when you buy a wallet back in the day and they'd have the fake little credit cards in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, have those in your wallet for people to steal. You don't have one bodyguard as head of Homeland? No. We have very few protections for anybody that works in government. It's the president and his family, basically, vice president and his family, and then ex-presidents. Yeah. And I don't think we necessarily need them. I would just want her to be strapped to where she could a little better.
Oh, yeah. She absolutely should have a gun at all times. But it is what it is.
But this is why she got robbed, because she doesn't listen to this show. She would know better.
Yeah.
Kristi, hit me up. We'll discuss it.
Kristi, hit me up. We'll discuss other things. You know.
Okay, I wasn't doing it the creepy way he was.
Excuse me, that's my seduction technique. I'm so lonely.
Okay.
Did you see the updates on the helicopter versus plane incident in DC?
No. Somebody in chat earlier said something about the pilot wouldn't listen to the co-pilot.
Yeah, so the co-pilot told her that that they're at the wrong altitude and that she needed to change heading, and she ignored him.
Which one are we talking about here? Is this the helicopter pilot or the plane pilot?
The helicopter pilot.
The female helicopter pilot.
Yeah.
And so she stayed at the wrong altitude and got everybody killed.
Yep. She refused to listen to the co-pilot and got everybody killed. 67 people died because she would refuse to listen to him. I
don't need no mansplaining.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the type of bullshit that you shouldn't have as a pilot. Okay, if somebody's like, hey, we're on the wrong heading, you need to fucking listen to them.
Or at least, check.
Yeah, like maybe keep an eye out for maybe I'm wrong,
You're flying in one of the busiest airspaces in the world, and you're like, it'll be fine.
It's fine.
Women, yeah. Look, I know this. We rip on you ladies a lot, but this is one of those things where he's probably like, you're at the wrong outside. Don't tell me.
I'm not listening to you. I hate you.
Did she live? Nobody lived.
No, none of them lived. This is in the black box recording, apparently.
She got herself, her co-pilot, and a whole bunch of civilians on a plane killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was doing her makeup.
Well, I mean, I ruled nothing out.
I don't understand why. How long before the collision does the guy tell her she's at the wrong altitude?
Apparently, she had enough time to change course and didn't.
Well, it's a helicopter. It doesn't take that long to change course.
Yeah, it's a little more maneuverable than an airplane, so a little quicker.
Oh, fuck her, man. I doubt it was an accident. It was probably an accident. And by accident, we mean incompetence.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you have too many people in your and this isn't about wokeism, it's just the consequence of wokeism, who need to prove something constantly. That only works out in movies. In movies, it's like, don't question me, I know what I'm doing, and then they turn out to be right. In the real world, that person usually gets somebody killed or seriously injured. Did she aloha snack bar? No. She was just an incompetent pilot.
Yeah, she's just some latte drinking white chick.
Those Blackhawks are more agile than you think. Oh, they really are, yeah. Thank you, Metal Minister. Good evening, Monk and Jack. Now back to the start. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Hey, Metal. Hope you're doing well.
Okay, that really cute video, that one will get us in trouble.
Okay, just skip it. I don't know which ones. Just toss a few things in there for you to select from.
That one needs to go to our chat, though, because everybody should see that. That is fucking adorable.
Oh, so adorable.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, watch this while you're listening to us. It'll cheer you up. If it doesn't, I don't know. You don't like adorability.
How much does it take to buy a little Chinese kid?
Not much.
And a GoPro, because this would be worth it.
GoPros are like $300. You could probably get half for that.
Thank you, Eric.
They built it.
The new Predator looks like Big Mike.
Yeah, it kind of does. I saw some photos of that. The commercial actually doesn't look too bad because the human in it is actually a robot. So that's kind of cool.
Okay, Jack, we can't play this video, but I am going to put this picture on screen. That is just fucking adorable.
Isn't it? Isn't she just so cute? And then she's smiling while she's running.
They put a baseball cap on her with a little GoPro pointed at her face, and then they just recorded her running. It's adorable. Oh my goodness.
That's the type of footage you like show them like their boyfriend later on. Like, oh yeah, check this out. This is your girlfriend. Look how cute she is.
I only have one grandkid who could still go through this level of running because all the others have aged out of it. I might be able to do it to my son's youngest. But if my daughter's listening, I'm going to do this to your youngest, honey. I'm going to get her a baseball cap and a camera.
Yeah, it reminded me of those videos where they put the camera on the cats and let them loose. Yes. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be super cute. And I don't have kids, so I live vicariously through other people. And when she started crying, I was like, "Aw."
Yeah.
But don't worry, she smiles again. It's a little creepy. It is kind of creepy, but it is adorable at the same time.
So woman drivers to blame. Thank you for the donation, Ace. Yes, indeed.
Well, I mean, we all knew it was the case. Come on.
I want to hear the conversation. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he's like, we're at the wrong altitude. She's like, will you stop telling me what I'm supposed to do? I know where I'm going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would be surprised if that was pretty much the case.
It bothers me a lot that we'd get hit for that last video, but we can show this one. I don't even know what this one is. But
this is a man with a starter pubes.
Yeah, just looking at him, I can already get. I didn't read anything here, Jack. But
his cheeks reminded me of that episode of Beavis and Butthead where they were gluing pubic hair on their face.
This guy makes me think that like he's gonna preach to me about how much he respects women's rights.
Yeah, and then he's gonna talk to you about his My Little Pony collection.
All right. What part of the Constitution allows a judge to obstruct? Oh, is this about that case?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a retarded lefty who's going to talk to us about it. Let's see.
That's literally the fucking separation of powers.
This is a chick.
I mean,
That's a
don't know.
chick. That explains the puberty beard.
Yeah, I
Right.
thought it might be the case, but I wasn't sure. Honestly, I don't know. The butt chin threw me off.
It could go either way. Let's have chat help us decide. Give me a 1 for chick, 2 for a man, an actual man, not-
Biological.
yeah.
The executive branch needs to listen to judges.
No, they don't. That's not what the Constitution says.
Oh, he's not done being stupid yet. Hang on.
The executive branch needs to listen to judges. That is literally the entire fucking point of the 3 branches of government.
I'll give you $1 if you can point to me in the Constitution where it says the president has to listen to judges.
Yeah.
I've read it many times.
Oh, well, you read the wrong one. See, hidden in the penumbra, you need one of those invisible ink pens that will reveal the truth. You remember those when we were kids, like a yellow highlighter to bring the text out?
I was at my granddaughter's school the other day and they were having their book fair and they had pens that you could buy that were invisible ink.
Aha!
Yeah.
That never gets old. Kids love that shit. Shit, I love that stuff. Get some lemons and some highlighter. Hey, good times. But yeah, see, he knows. I mean, look at this face. This is the face of someone that knows the truth, monkey. You cannot say this person does not know more than we do about the Constitution, because he knows that inside there, judges are the supreme beings, and the president, he's just a vassal through which they channel their powers.
Oddly enough, and I'm going to bet it's true with this person too, we didn't see a single leftist TikToker come out after the Dobbs decision and tell us that Biden needed to listen to judges.
That was then. Linear time's not a real thing. That
Fucking
was
point.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. Real quick, thank you, Keldrick. That's not what separation of powers means, estrogen sack. Oh, you and your technical definitions. So busy being factually correct.
Of the 3 branches of government, the executive branch is supposed to enforce whatever the fuck the judge says.
No, they're actually supposed to enforce what Congress says.
No, they're enforcers for the judges. See, Trump's like a bouncer, except the legal one, not like those military guys we talked about a minute ago. He's like a bouncer for the Supreme Court. He's like, no, Rehnquist said you can't do that. Time to go.
Well, at the time that the Constitution was written and then ratified and the first cabinet comes into being, there was no mechanism for the executive branch to enforce court decisions. There was no Department of Justice back then, Jack.
Are you telling me that puberty chin beard here might not know what they're talking about?
No, I'm telling you, they definitely don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
But they're so confident and they're yelling.
And you miss them making their face go closer to the camera.
Yeah, that's for emphasis.
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
You're welcome.
What is wrong with these people? I want to go back to the little Asian kid.
Right? The little Asian kid was adorable.
So cute. Oh, fuck. All I saw was AOC supporters, so I don't know what this one's about, Jack. I don't like your evil laugh when I say I don't know what it's about. All right. Are we up as loud as we can go? Because it sounded kind of quiet to me, so.
Here for much long because of the climate crisis. We only have a few months left. I love that you support the Green Deal, but it's not getting rid of fossil fuel. It's not going to solve the problem fast enough. A Swedish professor saying, we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So I think.
I'm sorry. Did she say a Swedish professor said we can eat dead people?
Yes. Wait for it. Wait for it. It's going to get better.
Yes, we got to start eating babies.
Please tell me this is a Poe.
I don't know. I really don't know. There's speculation that she's legit. There's speculation she's a Poe. I haven't seen definitively one way or another, but I'm 90% sure this is somebody fucking with AOC.
I hope so. Eric, thank you. If AOC runs and loses in 28, is that considered beating a dead horse? A dead donkey.
Yeah.
Horses can be beautiful. She's not.
We don't have enough time. There's too much CO2. All of you're a pollutant. Too much CO2.
That's true. Everybody who thinks CO2 is a pollutant should stop every bit of their CO2 production. I support that 100%.
Yes, put a cork in it, buddy. You're done.
We have to start now, please.
Every so often I'll say that and somebody go, that'll mean they can't breathe. I'm like, will it? I didn't consider that.
Oh, oopsie poopsie.
The Rando report, thank you. This has to go to the Supreme Court. Yes, baby eaten at the Supreme Court tomorrow.
You are so great. I'm so happy that you're really supporting the Green Deal, but it's not enough. Even if we would bomb Russia, we still have too many people, too much pollution. So we have to get rid of the babies.
This has got to be a Poe. She's selling it way too hard.
I don't know. I don't think she thought she was going to get this far with the shtick. No. So, and AOC is just back there like regretting life choices or something. I don't know what she's doing.
She looks like she's trying to just blend in with the wall.
Yeah, I am one with the view screen. One with the view screen.
It's a big problem. Just stopping having babies is not enough. We need to eat the babies. This is very serious. Please give a response.
Thank you. No, thank you. We'll go ahead.
Okay.
No, we'll go ahead. It's so no. Thank you. So I think
Okay, AOC just lied there. She said, I think.
Yeah. Now, if I ever form a thrash metal band, it'll be called Eat the Children.
Yeah, no. So one of the things that's very important to us.
You're going to give a response to Eat the Babies.
Yes.
This woman is a fucking retard.
I almost stopped it right before she started talking. And I was like, I want to see if she actually responds.
Yeah, the only response to that is moving along.
Yeah. Anyway, like I was saying before we were interrupted,
is that we need to treat the climate crisis with the urgency that it does present.
Eat the babies.
Luckily, we have more than a few months. We do need to hit net zero in several years.
Net zero babies.
Remember, 2032, that's when that's the tipping point. It was originally 1989. It's moved several times since then. It's now at 2032. Don't worry. It'll move as we get closer to 2032.
Look at how measured her responses are. She is so floored by this. She is trying to think of something to say.
Here's the problem with AOC, and all jokes aside, is that she's not smart. She is an actress. She only reads lines that she's been given. And anytime she is required to think for herself, she tells us things like, you're only concerned about what's factually accurate, not what's morally correct.
Yeah.
And then she has to come back and go, you guys took me out of context when you played that thing I said.
Faithless, that's what I was wondering too, is why didn't she denounce the idea of eating babies right away?
Oh, I'll tell you why. because some of those babies are rich and they believe in eating the rich.
Oh, some
Yeah.
of them may be Trump supporting babies.
Yep, could be Trump babies.
Worst
But
kind.
I think we all need to understand that there are a lot of solutions that we have, and that we can pursue, and that if we act in a positive way, there's space for hope. We are never beyond hope.
That's not what you've told us.
No, not even close.
If we don't act now, it's all dead. Everybody's gonna die. We're dead. Any news on Ethan Ralph, alive or otherwise? No, Rando. Thank you for that donation. I haven't seen any report on him. I didn't even know he was missing until Jack told me earlier, but apparently for 3 days he's been gone. Circus Zero, thank you. She is proto Alex Stein. She did this to other meetings. Good for her.
Oh, yeah. If that's true, she did a great job.
Yeah.
Hey, Fugi.
I'm with you.
Saw you got suspended on Twitter, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, Fugi, what'd you did, man? What'd you did? But I'm with you, Jack. I think she didn't think she was going to get to go on, and you could see this with some of Alex Stein's stuff before too, where it's like he thought he was going to get cut off. Okay, let's talk about Ralph there, Jack, because you know more about what's going on here than I do. So he apparently was going down to Colombia for Ralphomania 2, which is I from what I saw, going to be oil wrestling with women.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was with women at first because he mentioned that as the judge, he gets to oil people up. And I was like, that's fucking weird. Pretty super gay. I understand you're in Colombia and maybe the rules are a little different, but weird. And then I saw that it was female wrestling and I was like, oh, okay. And then it was like radio silence and people started saying, where's Ethan Ralph? He was supposed to do a show on Friday with some chick named Lynx who used to be on Lolcow Live and apparently isn't on there anymore. I don't fucking know the drama lore there, but he missed the show and never notified her. So she was worried about him because apparently that's very unlike Ethan to miss a show entirely and not at least like give somebody a heads up or an apology. But nobody's heard from him since before that. So I haven't seen anything pop up since then, but there was a story out of that same area of Colombia where a 40-year-old male was found drowned in the ocean or whatever. So people were just wildly speculating that that's Ethan Ralph, but I that's a tenuous connection at best.
My guess would be he went into Colombia with drugs on him and he's in a prison right now.
That would not surprise me. Either that or he pissed off the wrong person. Or, as my theory goes, that Andrew Tate's the one that beat him up and took his man purse in Spain. He found out Ethan Ralph got a new man purse and he flew to Colombia to get it. But I don't have any evidence of that. It's just a speculation of mine. No, I don't know what's going on with Ralph, but it does appear to be off grid, at least for now. So who knows? He may be being hunted by the original revenge pornographer. I'm not sure.
Oh, could be. Because that was his whole thing. He was going to do this. He was going down to Colombia to meet with the original pornographer dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, St. Fugi said he was supposed to link up with a teen Latina porn account. The guy said that Ethan never showed. The guy who runs the account is known revenge porn troll guy. So, yeah, he was supposed to meet up with that guy. And that guy says he never showed either. So that's two people saying that he bailed on them. And that really isn't like Ethan Ralph. Say what you will. He needs the money to do. So he's got to be doing his shows. And to miss his Friday show, because he didn't do any broadcasts at all. He missed the meeting with this chick and didn't do any streams. So Darth Bando said he just tagged me in something. Hold on. May have an update here.
About Ralphie boy?
Yeah. Which account did you tag, Darth? I don't see anything.
Yeah, I don't know anything that's going on. I've been offline for 2 days. I did my game stream the other day, and I have not really been back on since. So everything is new to me.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep you up to date with all the stuff that I know.
Hey, Fugi, hit me up with your cousin's account. I'm sure he's got one, right? Man, what are they doing with all the bands lately?
I don't know. It's getting kind of ridiculous. According to Chris Borez, the ghost behaviorist, Ethan Ralph is missing, considered dead, and no one's talking about the Sonichu curse. Yeah, it's a photo of Ethan holding the Sonichu medallion.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Ethan though, but it is a little concerning. I don't like the guy. He did appear to have unblocked me, but if he's missing, that's not cool. He does have kids, and they're gonna want to know what happened to their dad.
Yeah, I don't want his dumb ass dead.
No,
I just think he's annoying.
Yeah,
I mean, he does weird shit. I mean, other than laughing at him, I don't want bad things to happen to the guy.
Yeah, you don't get any lolcow stuff if he's dead.
I would not be shocked if he's in a prison somewhere for drugs, because fuck, it's Ethan Ralph.
Dude, I watched a lot of those smuggler shows. There's no way in hell I would want to be in any prison in South America. They are fucking scary.
Joy Reid is on my screen wearing a shirt that says "Not arrogant, just from New York." You could save a lot of font and just say "cunt."
Yeah, you would think so.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't see what this one was about. It's Joy Reid, so here we go.
Each community on earth. If you take that away and try to distill us just down to white folks, we'll be like Europe, an aging, slowly dying former empire. The Roman Empire didn't survive because it didn't have enough strength in its diversity.
What? I'm very confused, because my understanding of the Roman Empire is that it like took over all the land around it. They didn't kill all the people who lived there. They brought them into the empire.
Yes. Yeah, no, it was all white. Forget all that whole North Africa bit and the Middle East and all the Eastern Europe.
I am so confused with the history I've actually learned and what the lefties keep telling me.
Look, it was a really big circus. It had a big tent.
Oh.
It suppressed its diversity and it died. If the U.S. wants to be the Roman Empire, keep voting the way you're voting, y'all. Keep voting for people like each.
Oh, wow. So much to unpack there, Jack. I mean, let's start with, what's happening with Europe. What's happening with Europe right now, some might say, is because of your diversity shit.
Yeah. When they were ethnically homogenous, they were doing pretty good. But It seems like their crime rates have skyrocketed in the last 5 or 6 years, around the time they started taking in all these migrants that are just parasitically leeching off of them.
Look at all those books in the background she hasn't read.
I bet they're all cut up, and inside is just like a bag of jelly beans inside of each one.
Why are they so bad at history?
Because they pick and choose what to believe, and they believe only people from their side of the political aisle. They don't believe in objective history. They don't believe in looking at multiple sources. If somebody that wrote the book, they don't know their politics or they're a right winger, they're not going to listen to them at all. They're just automatically discounted.
Oh, you still have your account? You're just silenced for a little bit, I'm guessing. Happens to the best of us.
We've all been there. You said some no thing, and next thing you know, you're on a little vacation.
That last video is another one we are going to give our audience and not actually show. Because that's another one where I am guessing we would get hit for that. I'm very gun shy after we've been hit lately, and there was one where I'm like, we'll be fine. And even then, no.
Yeah, it sucks too, because there's so many funny clips or videos that we want to talk about, and then they gotta shit all over us.
It's a guy doing the rappel wall in the army and not enjoying it at all.
I felt so bad for that guy because I wouldn't want to do it either.
I am afraid of heights, and I want to do that.
You go right
Thank
ahead.
you.
I'll wait at the bottom.
Thank you again, Ann S13 Frank. Dear Diary, our contact in Colombia finally deported Ethan Ralph to the attic. Gotta go. Can't make noise while the SS ransack the house. Shh. Thank you so much, Ann. And thank you, Chicago Mike. Do we need Scribe's bingo card for her? Word salad, anyone? Right. I wouldn't call what Joy did there word salad. I would call it historically retarded.
Yeah, I think the word you guys are looking for is drivel.
Yeah, because she's not just throwing out random words. She's trying to make the argument that white people are what killed everything. That if it's just white people, it will be destroyed. Hey, Joy, can you point me to the really old sub-Saharan African regimes?
Oh, the great empires that were thriving like Wakanda?
Yeah, where's Wakanda?
Not sub-Saharan, for sure.
No. And you can't even really, there were long dynasties in China, but China's not what it used to be. What's that? Since the 40s that the current shit has been going on?
Yeah. Since the World War II, when Mao kicked the last of the Japanese out.
Japan has been totally remade since World War II.
Yeah.
Here's the truth. Empires rise and fall, and it has nothing to do with the color of the people in charge.
No, higher technology wins, better supply lines, better weaponry, better tactics. So a lot of times disease wipes people out.
Sure.
It affected most of North America before Columbus landed, and in South America after the conquistadors showed up and accidentally brought lots of diseases, especially smallpox.
Whoopsie.
Oops. Well, a lot of diseases, some people have more immunity to them because they've been exposed before. Like anthrax, farmers get exposed to anthrax quite a bit because cows have it. So they're going to have a little bit more of an immunity. And let's say you lost your farm and you go become a sailor. You end up with the sniffles. You think nothing of it because it's a mild case for you. You cough on some fucking local, and he's got the worst thing he's ever had in his existence.
Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist $12. A bit off topic, but did you guys see the Buffalo school system debacle going on? No, I looked it up while Jack was talking there. Apparently, a detective has accused the Buffalo Public Schools of failing to report abuse.
I heard something about that, but I didn't look it up. I got distracted by shiny things.
I understand. This looks like all local stories about this. Buffalo detective accuses Buffalo Public School of failing to report abuse in a viral YouTube podcast. A Buffalo police detective is accusing, you don't have to repeat that like 8 times. Yeah, Detective Richard High, a 13-year veteran of the Buffalo Police Department who has been on the Special Victim Unit for the past 2 years, made the allegations on a Texas-based YouTube show called Unsubscribed Podcast. 37-minute episode titled Your Kids Are in Danger. SVU detective espouses Buffalo school system. That was posted Saturday morning had been viewed. Why do they always tell us how many times things have been viewed?
They think it matters.
This is a quote. The Buffalo school system has been intentionally not reporting the assault of students, sexual assault between students, and then has also used the Buffalo Police Department school resource officer to write reports and then had their influence over those officers. Does he give any specifics in this? The district statement, the Buffalo Public Schools District is aware of unfortunate and untrue recent allegations circulating in an online video. I'm just going to tell y'all right now, I'm very weary of people who go on to podcasts like this. You know, they have some job somewhere, like he's a police officer, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, this stuff's not getting reported. And there's not an actual like case or anything they can point to. Because it's very easy to get yourself, it's in the video. I'll have to check it out, Dark. Because it's very easy to get attention online for just saying, this is happening with no proof.
Yeah, I think it kind of comes down to what he's got that will back up what he claims.
Yep.
If he's got some cases or something, I don't know.
I wouldn't be shocked by it. I mean, we saw what happened in Loudoun County.
Yeah, that's problem is things like this have happened before and not that far in the past.
Yeah. And he's willing to put his name on it, so that, I mean, gives it a little more credibility than this is our anonymous guest, which we see way too often.
Yeah.
Something to keep an eye on. I'm shocked that no, I'm not. I was gonna say I'm shocked that it hasn't hit the major news, but no, I'm not.
No, they're gonna cover it up, especially if it's if the offender was a transgender person or one of the other various protected classes. They're gonna hide that shit.
Just look at what's happened with like Loudoun County there, where the news when it first comes out is like crazy father loses his fucking mind at a school board meeting, and then 6 months later, like, because his daughter was raped and they hid it. And there was no major scandal that came out of that should have. Everybody on that fucking board should have been immediately fired. The press should have lost their goddamn minds over that.
You would think so.
And they're like, he was in a skirt. Be quiet. And look, what's a little anal rape when it's for trans people?
Right. Well, I was just surprised the teacher didn't do it.
Speaking of for trans people, Jack, a story we have not talked about and kind of popped up on my timeline today because she's taken a few kind of victory laps. The UK courts came down and said, boys can't be girls.
What?
I know. It's like they read a fucking biology book for the first time in their lives.
Oh, those bastards.
But they came down and said, for legal purposes, boys and girls are different. A boy cannot become a girl cannot become a boy. And so all of those people who've been calling J.K. Rowling a transphobe forever, they're out in full force now. Like, how dare you? Things and stuff, and you're a bad person. You're so mean.
Why are you invalidating my lived experience?
Yeah, I was reading some of the arguments that are going on about it because that shit is funny. Do I want to read her? I'll put it on the screen, I guess. In this case, it's shocking to me that it's taken the courts so long, even if it's overseas. Our courts need to come to this conclusion quick.
Yeah.
We're dealing with the same stupid shit here. But for just the courts to come down, whoops, I did not mean to do that. There we go. It was just me for a second, Jack. For them to come down and go, no, look, biology's real. Biology's real. You can dress like a chick and call yourself Sally. That's fine, but you're still a guy. I don't care if you cut off your dick and put a big stinky hole there. You're still a guy. And that is not a vagina reference because vaginas smell wonderful. It's a stinky hole. Because it's very much the same as fat rolls that people don't wash. It's just sweat and dead skin, and it just builds up and it stinks.
Yeah, sometimes it's used, they're using cadaver flesh to help form that fake vagina.
Or colon, that's another one they like to use.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's got to be...
The poop cooter. Oh, my God. This is why I don't read chat while I'm talking, Jack.
No,
I did not mean to interrupt you there, but poop cooter caught me off guard.
Another great name for a Swedish metal band.
True story.
What do you got? New album from Poop Cooter. It's called called Shit on Your Dick.
I responded to this person who responded to her, and she quote tweeted it, or well, she tweeted it with a screenshot. This person says, no, it suggests that denying trans women access to women's spaces because they are trans reflects animus towards them as women. This person's name is Logical Luminary.
I don't think they have either of those things going right now.
You can't have animus towards a man for being a woman because they're not one.
Yeah, that's kind of what they just declared, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
and it's the way real things work.
What? You're crazy. You have to feed into my delusion, or I'm gonna pout and go sit in my safe space with my kitty cat, and I'm gonna pretend I'm Harry Potter.
This person goes on to say, you're not treating them as a distinct group you respect differently.
Well,
sure.
really
You're denying their womanhood outright. I just want to be clear here. When it comes to trans people, I am denying your fake gender outright. You can still do it. And it doesn't delete you as a person. But it's not real.
What?
Recognizing someone as a woman and respecting their rights isn't dependent on your personal comfort or outdated biological essentialism.
Outdated biological essentialism.
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot of drivel right there. I'm just sticking with that word today. Drivel.
Those three words right there just scream, I have college debt. Outdated.
A lot of college debt.
We picked up our little lag. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's just nonsensical. Recognizing somebody as a woman should only happen for somebody who is a woman. This is why I have such a problem with these people, is because they have to lie to push their lie.
No, they're communists.
I do not care if you want to dress like a chick and take estrogen and cut off your balls. Knock yourself out. Stop pretending that you're actually a woman. This is why I do respect people like Buck Angel. Buck is doing her best to live as a man. But if you ask Buck, I'm a biological woman. There's no getting around that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, no, this is the same thing we saw with the gay gene. Remember that shit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. There's going to be some gay people in here who hate what I'm about to say. Gay is a choice. What? No, it is. You may not be able to choose whether or not you're attracted to a gay man and as a gay man, but you can choose whether or not you have sex. Frankly, heterosexuality is a choice. If you don't have heterosexual sex, then what you think of in your head is, I think that's attractive. Doesn't matter. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. Unless you're trying to make it, no, this is a biological reality. We do need heterosexual sex to propagate the species. But you can be heterosexual, attracted to women as a man, and never have sex. Ever. Look at Hassan. Reportedly heterosexual. Man, one of his little fans got mad the other day because I called him a gay Muslim. He's not a Muslim and he's not gay.
He is a Muslim.
He is a Muslim and he is gay.
Yeah.
That dude has tasted destiny. That's all I'm saying.
Or I think they've tasted each other.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Real quickly, thank you, Evolved Potato. Have you guys seen any of the recent tension between Pakistan and India? Oh, yeah, it's getting ugly. Probably going to have some border skirmishes soon after all the fuckery India did with the first restricting water that caused flooding by the releasing of it. Well, Pakistan bitched and they wanted the water, so they unleashed it all. Yeah, Pakistan's been fucking with Indian Christians and Hindus, too. So it's both ways. They're both pissing each other off. So yeah, just remember you can't hug your fellow man with nuclear arms.
So according to your logic, what are virgins? People who haven't had sex yet. When you're talking about sexuality, if there's been no sexuality, what is your sex? What is your sexuality? I get turned on by XYZ. Okay. Have you had sex? No, then it's not a sexual conversation. Shut up. Gay men for decades had wives and shit and then went and fucked guys at the bathhouse.
Yeah.
So don't tell me it's not a choice because they fuck women. They have kids. They did it to hide it, but they could do it. They could get a boner, man. I'm just not attracted to women. Then how'd you knock her up, dude? It's all a choice, but it couldn't be a choice because then you could have a problem with gay, and you're not allowed to have a problem with gay. Can't have a problem with gay. I don't have a problem with gay, but it was to try to force the idea that it's a natural thing that cannot be helped. You just have to fuck a dude in the butt. No, you don't.
Yeah, one of the problems they ran into is they can't square the circle with the gay gene and abortion.
Yep.
Because how are you pro-abortion when it would mean the genocide of gays, potentially? Because all the homophobes just executed those kids.
Yes, if they could find a gay gene and a religious right couple's like, we don't want a gay kid. We're going to abort it. What are you going to say then?
Yeah, because look what they're doing with Down syndrome kids in some of the European countries. They're aborting them.
Thank you, Keldrig. Hassan is a Muslim, which means he has goat sexuality. Don't call Destiny a goat. Shit, I got thrown off by that last part. Oh, this is what they're doing with the female brain now for the trans thing. That is the same thing as the gay gene. See, you can't have any opinion on trans people because they have a female brain. It's not their. It's just a natural thing that occurs. No, that's a fucking retarded thing to say anyway.
Yeah, just because you have a small brain doesn't mean it's female.
No, and the they did brain scans. We've been over the brain scan thing. Your brain is literally formed by your actions. So if you're running around pretending you're Dylan Mulvaney, and then you have women that are acting that same way, and you check their brains, there's a good chance they're going to look similar. Yes, both your thinking and your environment can affect the way your brain forms, the way it looks, the actual, because that's what they're talking about, Jack, is look, there's a bump right here on both of these brains.
That's called a tumor.
They light up in the same way at this stimuli. Really, the guy pretending to be a girl, his brain lights up at the girl stuff, huh? Weird. Anyway, Jack, I just want them to be honest about it. Just be honest about it. Go ahead and tell me they have body dysmorphia. They hate the body they were born in. Fine. That doesn't mean they were born in the wrong body. You literally cannot be born in the wrong body. Sorry, Ricky Berwick. How can you be born in the wrong body, Jack?
Quantum leap?
Did somebody take the brain out of your embryo and put it in a different one?
Maybe. Soul transference of some kind? I don't know. Dark magic could be the only answer I could come up with.
Yeah. You were born in the body you were meant to be born in. You can still not like that, but it's your body. It's literally you formed with it, fucker. I was born in the wrong body. No, you're retarded. That's it. And just be honest about that part. But they can't be honest about that part, Jack, because if they are, then they have to knock off all the trans rights bullshit. Because then it is a choice. Then it is something that they're doing, and it's not forced upon them by the universe or God or whoever the fuck you think made it happen. Then it's not my fault. I was born in the wrong body, and so I should be able to touch kids at a book reading. I'm so glad I did that in the accent. just be honest. No, I'm logical. That same asshole, several times in different arguments he was having with people, was like, all the professional things say that this is real. All the AMA and the APA. One, don't start me on those fuckers. These are people who like a little bit too much pedophilia in their worlds. But you're talking about people who have a vested interest in the financial outcome of these things. These aren't people who have a vested interest in the patient outcome. It's in the monetary outcome.
Indeed.
No, but and this from a fucking lefty who I guarantee you has accused somebody of fallacies before, using the appeal to authority. It's amazing how they never catch that when they're doing it.
Well, that's very capable of it because they're so awesome. Remember?
How is it that these groups, the AMA, the APA, both pediatric and psychological associations, how is it that none of them were right 20 years ago, but they're right now?
Stop noticing things.
No, there's just been more evidence. Of what? There's been no new evidence on this stuff. Like, no, more evidence has come out. And after 300,000 years of humanity on this planet, we finally noticed a new sex. Speaking of that, Jack, I saw some idiot the other day, and this is a guy on our side, right? Who's like, no, you can't actually change your sex. He was asked about the intersex, and his answer was basically, yeah, that is a different thing. It's not. Intersex conditions are deformations of male and female. That they're not a separate thing. It's not like they could propagate their own species.
No, they're just a freak of nature.
Yeah. It's a child born without an arm argument. Just because, yes, sometimes children are born without arms doesn't mean that they're new people. It's the one-armed kids. They're a whole separate species. No, they're not. They're just deformed. It happens.
Well, it did kill that doctor's wife.
Intersex is a mutation. It's but not a mutation the way that they use it in oh God, fuck, what's the word I'm looking for here, Jack? In evolution. Because technically, if we all came from the same original puddle of goo, we've all mutated into different things. You have your tappers, which are killing things, and then you have us, Jack. All of us just mutated to different things. But that's not the same thing as being born without an arm, or your dick is so small it looks like somebody put the top of an acorn on your ball sack, which, by the way, one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Micro penis is amazingly funny. Sorry if any of you
man. I feel bad for people that have that. That is tragic.
But it's funny looking.
Oh, it's absolutely funny looking.
It looks like AI. Cryptic, thank you. I love mutations. Xavier was a dick. Or sorry, I love mutants. Xavier was a dick. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, but we're going to wrap up there. Guys, I just want honesty. It's all I want. Why is that so hard? Why is honesty hard?
I don't know.
You can be weird. These are the same people who tell you, oh, don't call people weird. By the way, I'm special. Special's just another word for weird, fucker. No, I'm special. Yeah, you are.
Like an Olympian.
Pretty sure the chromosomes aren't exactly on par there. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are awesome. We really, really appreciate it. Jack, is there anything you'd like to show?
I just dropped a link to a really cool video. As always, thank you guys so much for all the support you give us. Always coming out night after night to watch. And thank you for the donations. You're beautiful people. I hope you know that.
That reminds me, I do want to drop the video because we talked about the Buffalo thing, and I did get a DM from Dark with the actual YouTube video. And he said the guy does give examples of cases in there. So I'm going to drop that in our chat for people to check out if they'd like to. I haven't seen it. I'm not endorsing it. That's just the evidence as was presented. So check that out if you're so inclined. I will be over on my game channel in just a little while. I think I'm going to play some Oblivion. Because man, I'm having a lot of fun with that, Jack.
Yeah, you seem to enjoy that one.
Oblivion is one of my favorite games ever. And the jankiness of they did something amazing with this remaster, Jack.
Yeah.
In most remasters, like especially if you're using a new engine instead of just like an updated engine or something, they'll completely port it over and they'll clean it all up. They did not clean this game up. They took the original game engine and then they just added Unreal 5 on top of it for the graphics. So all of the original jank in the game is still in the game.
For nostalgia or
yes, and actually it worked. Because there are so many people talking about how great it is that that it's just as fucking weird as it always was, because part of the fun of it was the weird shit you'd run into. And it really has worked out because it's still the Oblivion experience. They did clean up a couple of the cheats that you could do.
Oh, lame.
Yeah, they got rid of the infinite stealing cheat, which sucks because that one's so easy to do. But they left a lot of it in there. They even left in there's a really famous example of it in the game where a lady is reading a line and she goes, "Wait, let me do that again." And they kept it in the original game. And it's in here too.
Nice.
It's like, that's beautiful. Just leave it. Just fucking leave it.
Hey, that's it. Oh, who cares? No one's gonna know.
Faithless says, I never liked melee in it. I typically play as an archer in there. It's one of the reasons I didn't like Skyrim, because when Skyrim first came out, playing as an archer was ridiculously stupid. I play as an archer backed up with magic or just a straight mage, because that one's fun too. I'm not a real melee character in most games, although I should be, because I rush in like I play like a melee character. I really do. I'm let's fight. I'm like, oh shit, I got to back up so I can shoot you.
I believe that you're supposed to scream Leroy Jenkins' name when you do that.
That finding out that video was fake still has not made it to where I don't laugh every time I see it.
Oh, it was fake?
Reportedly, they came out and admitted it was fake a few years ago.
Yeah, I still don't care. It was funny.
It was funny as shit. Guys, that's going to wrap it up. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Ranting Monkey Games, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be over there in a little bit. Take care of yourselves. We love you. See you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Show's done.